Welcome to the Veterinary Marketing Podcast, where it's all about helping your veterinary practice attract, engage, and retain clients. Broadcasting a new podcast every Monday from sunny Southern California, here's your host, Brandon Bashirs.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to episode number 158 of the Veterinary Marketing Podcast. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we are going to be talking about step 3 or week 3 in our 30-day marketing challenge, where we're creating specific systems that are going to help increase your practice's marketing, help you get more clients, and help you understand where they're coming from. So today we are talking about ads, execution of those ads, scheduling ads and content, and then management of those ads and content. We had talked about in step 1, setting baselines, setting up tracking, setting up reporting, setting up a client avatar. Then we covered in episode 157, the before and after grid, the offers, the funnels, and the content. And now we're going to be talking about how to apply gas onto this fire to get things going, to drive traffic, to drive clients and customers into your practice. So this is going to be a really powerful episode for you. Be sure to listen all the way through. Before we begin, I want to mention just a few things. First, if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe in iTunes or Google Play. That way you don't miss an episode. I have 2 episodes a week that come out. One is an in-between episode, and one is a longer form where we go in more in depth with things. So be sure to subscribe there. If you haven't checked out already too, I created a digital marketing planner. It goes really well with actually this entire series. So if you're looking for a way to stay organized, to write down your thoughts, to make sure you understand all of the digital assets you have, create customer avatars, create before and after grids, and all of these things that we talk about here, be sure to head on over to veterinarymarketingpodcast.com/planner. I created a training that went along with it as well. So if you want to do a screen record training or check out a screen record training that I made, be sure to check that out. All right, let's jump into today's episode. So we talked about setting baselines, tracking, reporting, creating that client avatar. So that way we understand what's happening, who we're targeting, and then we went into the before and after grid to figure out what it is that they look like before using your product or service, and then what they look like after. How do we create offers around that before and after? And then how do we create funnels around driving people from awareness to evaluation to then conversion? And how do we create content that will help to support that, to generate a larger audience that you can attract to your brand or your business? So let's talk about ads. Ads, why are they important? I think that paid ads are the key to creating scalable success in your veterinary practice because you can scale them. They're predictable. I think that when you're thinking about ads, it's good to think about your ads as kind of like you're going to the traffic store where you're going to be buying customers or clients. And the reason for that is because people hang out online, they're doing different activities, and so different traffic sources and different traffic types are going to be, different. They're going to be based on what their search intent is, what they're doing on the website that you're going to be targeting them, where are your clients hanging out, and how can you drive them to the appropriate offer, or how can you get them to take action from the place that they're hanging out on. So I think that in general, with veterinary practices, you should consider a few things. First, what kind of clients are you looking to attract? That's number one. And so I'm just going to tell you, I think, what every single practice should be doing. And I'm a paid traffic person. I think that traffic is fantastic because you can scale it. If you say, hey, I want 20 new clients this week, I could say, okay, let's come up with the plan for that. If you wanted to do more SEO or, create content that went organic and got you more clients and things, if you said, hey, I want more clients, I could say, well, we could try to do, X, Y, and Z, but we're going to depend on, these platforms to send you traffic. And so since there's no control in that scale, and we can't control how people see the content and things like that, I'm not saying that content isn't important. I'm just saying that if we're trying to drive clients into your practice, paid is the only surefire way that I know of that can take you from being not busy to being busy. So let's think about a few things first. First, where are your clients and customers spending time? And where are the networks and platforms that they're spending time? Now, this used to be a lot more segmented, in my opinion. I'm not sure kind of why this happened, but it really seems like there's been a consolidation of social networks. And social networks in general have been just a lot less to pop up. If you remember, like I would say 4 or 5 years ago, there was like new social networks popping up all the time. And I don't know if it was maybe the Apple store that was just more of a Wild West situation where people could pop up and rank more easily or something. But, we had Vine, we had Meerkat, we had Periscope, we had Twitter that was a lot more prevalent. Facebook, Instagram, they were more segmented because they weren't owned by the same thing. YouTube, Pinterest, a lot more segmentation. So it was kind of like, where are the new emerging networks that we can get more organic traffic from? That was kind of the thing. But nowadays, I think that in general, everybody is on Instagram. Everybody is. Snapchat is still has active users. It just is a lot more segmented to younger users. And then Facebook is older demos, but pretty much Instagram covers everyone. So if you're thinking about running ads, Facebook and Instagram are going to cover everyone in your practice. When we come down to Facebook as a network for ads and Instagram as a network for ads, we have people hanging out there, but there's not the intent of, hey, I'm looking for a veterinarian right now. And so with that, you have to think to yourself, okay, how am I going to use this platform to drive clients into my practice? Because that's ultimately what we're trying to do. So that's one thing, is where are clients hanging out and how can we engage with them? And Facebook and Instagram are sure ways to get basically everybody in your practice that you can reach and engage with them because you're going to be there. So the other thing is how can we attract people to have the intent? I want to go and get a new veterinarian. I'm looking for some veterinary care for my pet. What can I do? Or, I need this specific service. Who can I use for this? And so the intent-based searches are happening on Google and Yahoo. I don't do Yahoo ads in general just because Google's the big winner with that, but you could do Yahoo and Bing. So we're just going to talk about specifically Google. And with Google, you have all of those same kind of search phrases as well. So we have intent-based search phrases, we have brand-based search phrases, and then we have investigational search phrases for people that are looking for answers like, what are the signs for cancer for dogs? Or, questions like that. And sure, that helps to identify and segment, your traffic and find people that are dog owners, but that's a super long funnel. And so you're going to have that answer. You're going to have to entice them to join your email list, and then you're going to have to follow up with them, and it just is really time intensive. It's going to take a lot of relationship building, whereas you could be searching for or finding and engaging people that are actively searching for specific services at the time. So they're doing transactional type searches on Google, and they're going to be going into a veterinary practice. They're looking for a solution to the problem that they have. So I think that with your practice in general, I think that there's kind of a two-pronged approach. We could be doing these kind of client generation ads on Facebook and Instagram, and I think that is probably worthwhile. But the question is that you're going to have to drive them into your practice somehow. So what is the way that you're going to be driving them into your practice? Are you going to be giving away something, right? Just saying, hey, we're open. And unless they need something right now and they're going to go search anyways, it doesn't make a difference to them, right? It's going to be probably not successful at all, or if it is successful, will be very limited in its success. If you ran a campaign that said, hey, book an appointment right now, we have openings, but you're not giving anything away. People aren't on Facebook or Instagram searching for services like that. So we need to give them a reason to jump in. And I would put some caveats in there that if you have a current client that is already a fan of you and knows, likes, and trusts you already, then it becomes a different equation. But if we're just talking about client acquisition, I think that the best platform for client acquisition is Google AdWords. And again, the reason for that is because you're going to be driving people into your practice who are actively searching for a solution. So you don't have to give things away. People are looking for a problem. If you're trying to drive somewhere and you need gas and you need to fill up your car with gas, You're not going to be shopping around for, oh, you know what, this place is giving me a free car wash, and I'm going to stop here just because I'm going to hold out until I find somebody that's giving away a free car wash before I fill up. If you're empty and you need gas and you're gonna run out of gas, you're gonna stop at the first place that you see because you need it right now. And so it's that kind of a situation on Google a lot of times. And so especially targeting very specific keywords that are transactional. So people that are searching for veterinarian near me type phrases, or veterinary hospital near me type phrases, or animal hospital. There are so many people that are searching for your product or service that are right by you that are on Google. And so unless you have a huge budget, you're not going to exhaust that search volume that is happening inside of Google. And so it's kind of like we need to figure out what's the lowest hanging fruit, use the ad budget that we have, drive people to your practice, give them a specific way to take action, and then figure out what are the next key phrases that we can be increasing and scaling, and what's kind of the best ways to engage. Now, I think that Facebook and Instagram are 100% important for your veterinary practice. You need to be on both of those places. But I think that the play on Facebook and Instagram become more of a branding play, so that you're engaging with your current customers and your current clients. But with your veterinary practice, on new client acquisition and generation of new clients, I think that happens specifically on Google. And again, the reason for that is you have people with the intent. That makes the big difference. And so if we're looking at cost per click, and just on like cold traffic, meaning that they don't know, like, or trust you yet, you can generate clients, in my opinion, for a lot more cost effectively on Google than you can on Facebook. So we need to figure out where we should be running the ads based on what we're trying to do. So is it a promotion that we're going to be running that is going to be like dental month or something? Or is it going to be new client services? Or is it going to be services for puppies or kittens? Or, what is it that we're going to be offering? And again, that kind of happens inside of the offers phase that we're figuring out, right? Building a funnel that supports that offer, as we talked about in the last episode. But once we do that, we need to figure out the appropriate traffic source. So are we looking for engaged clients already that we're going to be driving back into the practice? Because if that's the case, we should be using Facebook or Instagram. And then if it's something that's like new client acquisition for puppies, let's say, just as an example, then we're going to be driving people into the practice with Google search phrases. So it really, again, just trying to get your head around and wrap your head around where is the person that we're trying to reach, where are they spending time, and then what is an interesting way to make this offer to them. And not necessarily interesting, but just effective, right? What's the easiest way to get in front of these people and then give these people that we've segmented and identified the offer that they're looking for. And digital marketing and selling online, there are so many things that you can do to try to convince people to buy. But ultimately, I think that the easiest way to find people that want your product and services are just making a clear offer that's easy to understand, that tells who it's for, what it is, and what they get, and then how do they get it. And it's really that simple. We don't have to overcomplicate it. I was reading a book called Persuasion by Robert Cialdini, and he talks about these really sophisticated ways to try to instill desire in people to buy a product or service. And I think that that's great. And all of those things are very, very cool. But at the end of the day, if you're finding people who have a serious need for your product or service, and you have a good website and you have everything set up in place to drive people to your practice, you just need to find people that are in that right audience. So people that want the services that you have, or people that know, like, and trust you, so they're going to take your advice when it comes to dentals. Or, it needs to be an appropriate offer for the audience that you're going to be targeting. And you need to figure out what is the most effective way that you can get in front of those people. So I hope that makes sense. I know this is trying to distill a lot of information down and make it so that it's not too complicated in things, but it really doesn't have to be complicated. What's the easiest way you can get somebody to take action What is that ad network? What does that offer look like? And the beauty of the internet, and also the difficulty of the internet, is that you can get results really, really quickly. And so start out with testing and measuring and seeing what's working, but you can get feedback immediately. And a lot of the things that you're going to do is not going to work. But the beauty is that you don't have to spend a tremendous amount of money to know, is this working, is this not working? So again, if you go through all of those pre-work steps of setting up baselines, tracking, reporting, client avatars, you're going to have a lot more success in general. So once you get the ads out, you need to create ad campaigns, you need to create landing pages, you need to use that funnel that you've made and drive traffic to the page. You're going to see if it wins, it's a winner, or if it's a failure. And I think that in general, you should be trying to just have specific conversion rates in mind of what you're trying to do. Now, I get this question a lot. What are good conversion rates? I think that if you have a landing page that you're sending traffic to, I would shoot for a 20% conversion rate or higher. Typically, when I do conversion rates and tracking on my conversion pages, I know that I like to have a 30 to 35% conversion rate as a goal on the onset, just because I need to make sure that we're sending traffic to relevant traffic to the right pages. But I'd say that if you're just starting out and you haven't done it before, try for 20% or better. If you're not hitting 20% conversion rates, then something's not right. Either the landing page has the wrong messaging, or the traffic isn't right, or there's only a few things that it could be. But make sure that it's clear and easy for people to take action. So once you have those campaigns up, I think that you need to figure out what your biggest things that you're going to be promoting. Now, again, finding those transactional searches, I think that people that are actively searching for products or services related to your veterinary practice, you should be running those all the time. Figuring out what's the lowest hanging fruit, testing, is veterinary hospital near me better, or should I do animal hospital near me, right? And that sounds like a small distinction, but the truth is that there's going to be prices and cost per click differences there. So figuring out where's the best, lowest hanging fruit based on the budget that you have. And then on top of that, for Facebook and Instagram and your other social places that you're hanging out, if you're doing Twitter or if you're doing YouTube or other places like that, figuring out what are the schedule that we're going to be running. And I think that I like to do what I call 3+1. So we do 3 weeks of promotion and then 1 week of follow-up. And that just helps to keep your offers rotating so that you always have something new to promote. So I'll give you an example. So let's say you do, you're going to have a puppy month, and then you're going to have a kitten month, then you're going to have a dental month. So that's the focus for the month. So you do 3 weeks of promotion, and I think that creating content around that looks like, the first week we're going to talk about puppy nutrition. What are the most important things that you need to know when you have a puppy? Second week, we're going to talk about potty training and discipline training and like behavioral training is what I meant to say there. And then the third week is the schedule for vaccinations and why it's so important and how important heartworm is and heartworm treatments are, and all of the things that you need to talk about as a new pet owner that they don't know about necessarily. And then the following week you're making that the entire time you're making offers to people who engaged with that puppy content that you've done. And then you have a follow-up that, hey, we have our puppy preventative packages, and we're offering a special now that if you come in, you get this as a bonus, and it's ending by the end of this month. And so then it's follow-up, and you're retargeting all of the people who've engaged in the past with your content there. And so that way you're always talking about something new, but it's relevant to the offers that you're making. It's helping to segment and identify the traffic that you're sending out there, that you're casting a wide net and re-engaging and remarketing the people that are in your practice, and then showing them an offer and actually saying, hey, we have this special, here's a service that we offer. You might not know about it, but here's why you'd want to check it out. And actually trying to sell things online to drive people into your practice. And that way you're going to be able to find out, what are our conversion rates, what was successful, and what should we change in the next promotion. And then the next month you rotate through a new offer and a new product. And so that way you always have something new to talk about. You're creating segments of traffic, and it's just, I think in general, a good way to keep things new and moving. So with that, you want to be sure to manage your ads and manage your ad spend. I think that when you're starting out with your ad campaigns, you need to make sure that the budget is something that you're going to be okay if it doesn't go well, because a lot of times your ads and your traffic, it's not necessarily going to be a landslide winner, and things change all the time too. So you have to be managing this. I would say that on a minimum, you need to be checking your ads at least once a week. Initially, when you start something and launch it, I think you need to check it every single day. It needs to have enough data to give you feedback on what's working and what's not. But if it's not gathering enough data, then you're going to need a little bit more time. So what does that mean though specifically? So if you say, I'm going to do $1 a day ad budget, it's better than nothing, but you're going to take a longer time to get feedback and results on that because it's just such a small ad spend. So typically, and just as a rule of thumb, I think that doing at least $10 a day on Facebook and at least $10 a day on Google Ads is where every single practice needs to be. And I would like a lot more than that, but just as a bare minimum, that'll at least keep you showing up for relevant searches. And if you have your campaigns well optimized, you're going to be, showing up when it's important. So I think that that's kind of just a bare bones minimum. I would really like to see more though, just in general, because you're going to be able to see a great return typically if things are set up properly. So managing that. And one thing that I will say too is that when I put ads out on Facebook, I like to see at least 3 days worth of ads running before I decide to scrap it or adjust it or scale it. And then that way I can see, is it working? Is it not working? What should we do to fix it? I'm going to give you a few quick tips here in the next episode that are going to be really, really helpful for you on evaluating your ads, adjusting them, optimizing them, and creating successful campaigns that are going to be able to scale and increase your clients a lot. So I think it's going to be a really good episode next week. Be sure to listen. If you have any questions or comments or need help with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. I know this can be kind of complicating and it can also be a little bit overwhelming. So if you have any questions, be sure to reach out. The best place to do that is in the Veterinary Marketing Nerds Facebook group. You can go over to facebook.com/groups/the Veterinary Marketing Nerds. Request to join there. And if you ever have any questions or comments or need help with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. I really appreciate you for listening all the way through. Be sure to subscribe in iTunes or Google Play, and I'll see you on the next week's episode. Have a wonderful day.